Hi, I am Sylvia Lynette Oliver, and I wanted to do something a little different tonight. If you've been following Chaos and Crumbs Conversations, you've been hearing me talk about life, family, writing, and some of the stories behind the stories. But tonight, I actually want to read to you. I'm going to share a little bit from one of my books, A Penny for Your Thoughts. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much about this one because this is the kind of story where I really don't want to spoil what you're going to discover. I'll tell you this: there are murders, there are psychics, there are pennies being left behind. And there is something going on that is not quite what it looks like. So get comfortable and let me read you just a little bit. This is A Penny for Your Thoughts by Sylvia Lynette Oliver. Prologue. There was a moment once before the fire, before the coin, before the silence, when the world still made sense. He remembers it only in fragments. A warm hand closing around his, the scent of lavender and clove smoke, a woman's voice whispering something sacred into the crook of his ear. The light in that memory flickers like a candle struggling against the wind. It always dies before he can make out her face. What stays with him is the sound, the clink of copper against porcelain, the way the penny settled into his palm as if it had always belonged there. Keep it close, she said. It will remind you who you are. But memory is a cruel thing. It can rot in the quiet. It can shape itself into something else entirely. And now, years later, he no longer knows what the coin was meant to protect or what it was meant to hide. He only knows this: when the silence speaks, it speaks in ritual and symbols and blood, and the penny still gleams, dull and patient, waiting to be spent. Chapter 1, Copper Moon. The rain hadn't stopped since dusk, a steady curtain that blurred the edges of the street and made every color bleed. The neon sign above the window pulsed through the downpour, its red glow spilling across the slick pavement until it looked like blood swirling through black water. Each time a car passed, its tires hissed and scattered ripples through the puddles, but nothing softened the gloom. When he opened the door, a thin bell tinkled, too delicate a sound for a place like this. A breath of incense wafted out, heavy with sage and sandalwood, but beneath it clung something sour, like wilted flowers rotting in a vase. The shop was narrow, the ceiling low. Shelves leaned with the weight of cloudy jars and trinkets scavenged from attics and estate sales. Bronze charms dulled with patina, pendants like sleeping eyes, decks of cards bent soft from years of shuffling. A faded tapestry covered one wall, its threads unraveling into shadow. Strings of glass beads swayed, although no draft stirred them. At the center, on a small table covered with lace, yellowed into ivory, sat a crystal ball. Its round, gleaming surface seemed to pulse with the reflection of the neon outside, as if it were watching him approach. Madame Calvera sat just beneath it, her posture regal despite her withered frame. A shawl clung to her shoulders in a ripple of faded color, and rings glimmered faintly when she lifted her hand. Her eyes, rimmed in tired shadow, brightened when she spoke. $20 to read your fortune, young man. Her voice cracked, husky from years of smoke or chanting, but it carried a stubborn strength. She smiled, a real one, if weary. It's a copper moon tonight, you know, ripe for endings, riper still for beginnings. He hesitated, the comb already warm in his pockets. Read first, he said. Show me you're real. Her hand trembled slightly as she extended it. Your palm will do. He lowered himself into the chair opposite her, sliding his hand across the table. Her fingers closed over his, papery and cold. She bent toward the lines, her breath shallow but steady. You've lost something, she said at first, almost gently. No, not lost. You gave it away years ago. His fingers twitched in hers. She hummed low in her throat. You carry 3 shadows. Rook didn't flinch, but his eyes narrowed. They don't follow, she went on, eyes still locked to his palm. They rise inside. They move through you like wind moves through reeds. One sharp, one still, one broken. Her voice grew thinner, words slower, as if she was beginning to doubt what she saw. A low throb began behind his eyes. You're used to silence, she murmured, but you don't live there alone. That was when the warmth drained from her face. Her fingers spasmed once around his hand and she yanked back, knocking the edge of the crystal ball. It wobbled, catching the light. No, she whispered, staring not at him now, but past him, through him. You shouldn't be here. Something came with you. You've brought something. Rook said nothing. You brought it again, she whispered. This isn't the first time, is it? Her voice seemed to echo, faint, almost doubled, as if the room itself repeated her. He didn't blink. The scent of incense turned sickly sweet. And for a heartbeat, he was somewhere else. The smell of rain on old wood, a hallway light flickering, the slam of a door and glass breaking, a scream, cut short and sharp, his mother's voice vanishing into silence like breath on a mirror, that sticky press of blood between floorboards beneath a child's hand, the sound of a penny spinning before it stopped. He blinked it away. The crystal ball stared up at him, unblinking, unblinking, unblinking. She was reaching under the table, trembling. Her voice was soft, almost kind. Too slow. He yanked the tablecloth free, wrapping the heavy lace around the crystal ball in one sweep. The spear thudded against her temple with a sickening, efficient crack. Her body slumped sideways, Her shawl slipped, her mouth opened, caught between gasp and prayer. Rook stepped back, breathing only through his nose. He reached into his coat, pulled on thin gloves, and drew out a single coin. The copper caught the lamplight. He polished it carefully, not out of vanity, but ritual. Then he bent down, slow and composed, and pressed it into her palm. She was still warm. A penny for your thoughts. He adjusted her fingers until they curled properly. Then he left. And I'm going to stop right there. Now, I want you to know this. You probably want to know what a penny is about, don't you? I'm not telling you. You have to keep reading. That was an excerpt from my novel, A Penny for Your Thoughts. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments because I may start doing more of these, just sitting down with you and reading little pieces from my books. And if you want to know what happens next, A Penny for Your Thoughts is available now on all platforms. And thank you for spending a few minutes with me. And I'll see you next time.